Bonnie and I have something very exciting to announce to you.
Hey, Hillbilly, what are you and Bonnie doing?
Well, we're talking to the people.
What are you wearing?
Oh, that's the exciting announcement. We finally have our t-shirts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. We're even patriotic. Red,
White and blue.
white, and blue.
So, on the back, she'll show you up close. That's the Hillbilly RV part, and on the front, we have our logo. And very soon, maybe we even have some hats, not just a hat with a sticker taped to it. Bonnie wants to know, do we have cat shirts? Well, of course we have cat shirts.
No, we don't have cat shirts.
Oh, we don't have cat shirts.
We have long sleeve t-shirts. We have pullovers or hoodies. We have mugs. We have V-neck t-shirts for the women. Yeah.
But, sorry, no cat shirts. Bonnie's really look, she's so disappointed she can't hardly hold her head up. So you all go to Teespring. There will be a link in the description below of this video. Go there and check out our merchandise. One thing we did notice about the shirts, they tend to run a little bit small, so you might want to order one size bigger than what you would normally wear. If you want a sticker, just email us at the Gmail account. Again, there's a link in the description of this video.
Would you quit the pointing?
Well, I gotta get my point across.
No, the pointing gets on my... Hey, if it gets on your nerves, let us know, because it drives me crazy. He's always pointing.
But I gotta get my point across. It's pointing. Okay, I don't know. But anyhow, go see. How do I tell you to go down there and check out our links below?
Well, down is not pointing. That's pointing.
That's pointing. All right,
go check it out.
Just go down there and check it out. Thank you. Welcome back to the Hillbilly RV channel. Today we got something really exciting.
What are you doing, Hillbilly?
What
are you wearing?
I didn't quite finish. She was close though. Welcome back to the Hillbilly RV channel. Today we got something very exciting to announce to you. Cue.
Oh. What are you doing, Hillbilly?
What am I wearing?
What are you wearing, Hillbilly? That's... No. Do it again.
Do it again.
Take
3. I've already done my part.
I know. I want you to do it again.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Hillbilly RV channel. Today we had something very exciting to announce to you.
What are you doing, Hillbilly?
Apparently it's very funny too.
Oh, okay.
I've already done my...
What are you doing, Hillbilly? What are you wearing?
Say it seriously.
I can't right now. Oh, there's Bonnie. Act with Bonnie right now.
No.
Okay. What are you doing, Hillbilly? What are you wearing?
Hey, Bonnie. Kitty.
She left.
Hey, kitty.
She knew it was her time to act.
Bonnie, come here. Kitty. If you don't act, you don't eat.
They clean up good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had this one on for about 5 minutes the other day and had stuff all over it, and it washed up nice. So
check us out. Buy a shirt and let us see you wearing your shirt out and about.
Yeah, I liked the first one so much better.
Well,
I know. See, I thought I liked all that. Let's just do it all over again. Just take 2 minutes. Come on. Yeah, I think that one will work. Welcome back to the Hillbilly RV channel. Today, we're working on a Suburban furnace. It's a model SF35. It's out of a FEMA unit. Been a while since I worked on a FEMA unit. Most of the FEMA units that we'd see today are from Hurricane Katrina. How long's that been? Gosh, it's been a long time, right? But there's still a few of them old FEMA units out there. What was it? The government bought what, a couple 100,000 of them things for the Katrina disaster, and what was it? They didn't even give them people to use, and then what, like 3 years later after the Katrina, FEMA turned around and sold 110,000 of those things to the public. at like $5 a piece or something. Killed the RV market there for a while because everybody's buying $5,000 FEMA units, or people buying 10 or 15 of them and selling them for $10,000 a piece. But anyhow, that's enough of that. But went out 2 days ago and diagnosed this furnace. The fan would come on, and I would think I thought I could hear a strike maybe twice. You know, the fan come on, be a little delay, and I'd hear a tick tick. Never smelled any gas at all. So I don't know whether we just got a dirty orifice or we got a bad gas valve. But we're gonna tear in this thing and see what's up with it. So y'all hang on. As you can see, I'm still working out of the back of my pickup too. Still haven't got my service truck going. Speaking of service truck, there's the old driver's seat. I mean, that van, it did me a solid, you know. I replaced the driver's seat, the brand new seat. I put rear brakes on it, and I put 6 new tires on it. And in that same week, it broke down. It's been down for 2 weeks now. You know, when you take care of something and you throw a little money at it, it ought to treat you better than that. Really disappointed, van. Anyhow, let's get started on that furnace. Now, I had already removed the control board bracket and the control board, and let's see if we can get this thing slid out of the case. There's always a screw right here that releases the furnace from the case. I'd already removed that as well. I got it duct taped right there so I didn't lose it while I was transporting the furnace. The bad thing about working on these is, and you suspect the orifice might be plugged, the orifice lives down in here. You know, I've took his furnace out of the camper, put it in my pickup, drove it an hour, and you saw me, I just had to wiggle, jiggle to get it out of the case. So, you know, if there was something in this orifice, chances are it's no longer there. But we're gonna go in here and expose this orifice and just see if there's anything in it. So like I say, if it's not a plugged orifice, we might have to think about checking out the valve. Removing these gas valves from these SF series Suburban furnaces is a place where you get to use that crow's foot tool that's in the back of your toolbox. Most everybody has a set of these in the back of their toolbox that they may or may not have ever used. But this is a place where you actually get to use it. Because this tube runs out, well, it runs into, but it runs down here and runs into this valve down in here. So you get to use that crow's foot to get that line loose from that valve. I'll try and show you where that's at, because that crow's foot's the only way to get that. Can y'all see that down in there? Probably not, but anyhow, that's where that's at. Without disassembling the whole furnace, this is the only way to get that gas line loose from that gas valve. It's one of the few places that you won't see me using a backup wrench too, just because there's no way to back up this operation here. Now, this was not very tight, which seems unusual. I would almost suspect that I am not the first one to be here. I know when I was taking the furnace out, it kind of looked to me like the furnace had been out a few times in its life, at least a few times. So we're just going to get, now we're going to get all this stuff loose up here. There's always one nut and then several screws. And yes, I'm going to do them by hand. These fire boxes are super fragile. And I just prefer to just use a regular screwdriver whenever I'm dealing with these screws here. Especially going back, it'd just be so easy to strip those screws, because this little firebox, it's you know, super thin, so there's not a lot for them screws to catch on, so we don't want to strip the screws out. We're going to try our best to save this gasket too. If we don't, not the end of the world. I have gaskets, but if I can save this gasket, we will, and we'll reuse it. I have no problem reusing these gaskets here, as long as we don't tear it up too bad. All right, everything's loose. Now let's see where the gasket's gonna stick at. Oh, look at that. Gasket didn't stick nowhere. I'm looking in that orifice, and I don't see any bugs in it. We're gonna take it out of there. Like I say, if there was something in that orifice, chances are it's done come loose anyway. So let's get that orifice out of there and see if there's anything in it. So even if there's nothing in the orifice itself, there might be some stuff in this pipe that we may be able to see. Oh, that orifice is pretty tight. Had to get out the ratchet. Oh yeah. Good. Still in there. Ah, there we go. See that little bug hanging out the end of that thing? Let me see if I can dump them out. Let me see if I can blow them out. Now, I can hold that orifice up. I can hold that orifice up to the light, and I cannot see through it. So there's bugs in there. I even blowed on it, and they didn't come out. Let me try one more time here. Man, that thing is really plugged. Oh, okay, they come out. I lost them. I had to blow too hard, and I lost them, but I can see through it now. So it was really plugged. Now we're gonna blow through this tube too. Try and blow through it real easy and see if anything comes out. Oh yeah, y'all probably didn't see that, but there was something come out of that tube. Blow a little harder now. Yep. Well, good. I think we're on the right track here. I think our orifice was just completely plugged, which is pretty uncommon. Usually, you know, if you don't smell any gas, or it lights, but you smell some gas, you know, that's pretty common. There would just be a couple little bugs in that orifice, but I was getting no smell of gas through this thing at all. And we're going to just put this right back together, and getting this metal tube started back in that valve can be a super pain sometimes, because you gotta be real careful not to cross thread that thing. So a lot of times you have to reach underneath and kind of manipulate the valve, because it's not stuck to, there's a lot of movement there. So you take your crow's foot and just do it by hand sometimes, and you can get that thing started. But just do it by hand now. And you got to make sure, that's not going to work. You got to make sure that that thing is started straight. And you can reach down in there with 2 fingers and turn that thing. And sometimes this takes, I mean, you'll spend 15 minutes getting this fitting started back in that valve. So I'm gonna get that started back, and then we'll be right back. Okay. I got it started. I got it all run down by hand. Now, before we tighten it up though, we're gonna go ahead and get all of our screws and stuff in this cover up here, so that we know that nothing's in a strain here when we tighten it up. You know, when I see things like this, I often wonder how many people have been in this furnace for the same problem, maybe. I don't know. The customer didn't really give me a lot of information as to how long this has been going on, but I think it's been a while. So how many people had worked on this furnace but never went that last step and took this cover off to access that orifice to fix the real problem? So I'm just going to snug that metal pipe back up. It's always kind of fun trying to hold the furnace and tighten that thing up at the same time. There we go. Good enough. All right. So we're ready to test it. Let me get it hooked up to the gas and some 12 volt, and we'll test this thing, see what happens. All right, gas hooked up and on. I'm going to try the original board first because I had a dinosaur board hooked to it already, and because I never heard this one click or anything. So, but we're gonna try it real quick. It's laying here. So we got our DC power, i.e. drill battery. Hook our jumper wires up to that. Our furnace now has power. Twist our thermostat wires together. And see what happens. All right, I don't know if you could hear that over the fan noise, but I heard the gas valve open, but I never heard it try to ignite. So I'm gonna hook a dinosaur board up this. And dinosaur board helps diagnose it too, because it's got an LED that kind of tells you what's going on. Lets you know when the gas valve opens. Don't mean the gas valve's actually working, but you'll at least get a red LED when the gas valve opens. And okay, so let's try this again. Maybe I can move you around where you can actually see the LED on the board maybe. So we should get a green light whenever we hook up to our power. That means our cell switch is closed, and that means our limit switch is closed. So let's see what happens. Okay. So we've got a green LED. Sure turn red when the gas valve opens. Okay, I know you couldn't hear anything over that fan noise, but the LED light was green, and then it turned red. That means the gas valve open. I could smell gas. I never heard it try to ignite. Maybe click a time or two. So I guess we should have looked at the igniter while I was in there. All right, I'm gonna take this back apart and so we can see that igniter, see what's up. Be right back. All right, got it back apart. Seriously, took me like 2 minutes probably. You know, getting your tools out, getting everything you need, sometimes is half the battle. I've exposed the igniter. Seems like it's a little bit close. So we don't have any gas hooked up to it, but I'm gonna hook up, back up to our DC power source, and I'm gonna look in there and see if we get any spark. All right, hopefully you was able to see that. We got spark. Looks like the electrode might be a little bit close, but I still would thought it would light. So I guess the next thing we need to do is take this burner assembly out of there and make sure we don't have some kind of obstruction in it. Because that's a possibility. So let's get that out. There's several screws and hopefully that thing will come right out this side, I hope. It's been a while since I had one of these burner assemblies out, or burner tube, I guess. But yeah, we'll just take a few screws out here and it should come right out. Got it out. It looks good. All the little holes are open, looks like. I'm going to blow it out with some air just to make sure that all the little holes are open. But yeah, it looks great. I'm going to have to assume that this igniter was just out of adjustment far enough that it didn't want to light. So let's get this squirt back down in there. Try and get all this stuff back down in there about close to where it belongs. Start getting some screws started back in there. All right, so all the screws are started. Just gonna go tighten them all up. All right, so now I'm just gonna be very gently bend this electrode on this igniter. What we wanna get is about a 3/16 gap between the end of the electrode and the burner. All right, that looks like 3/16 of an inch to me. So now I'm just gonna stick this back together, hook the gas and the electric back up to it, see what it does. Well, that was even easier the second time. And if you're being very observant, which you guys and gals are always observant, you notice I didn't put all the screws back in that. That's because I don't have a lot of confidence that I'm not gonna have to take that thing apart again. But I got the gas hooked up. Let's hook it back up to the power and see what happens. Hopefully you could see the blue flame down there. Success. So I'm gonna put everything back together here and we'll put it back in the case and we'll test it a few times. So, all right, everything's tightened up, buttoned up, back in the case. We're going to test it a few times in the case. Gas is hooked up. I need to turn it on. Let's try this again. All right, well, it lit right up. So I'll do that. I'll let it run for a little while, just burn any stink out. By the way, little stink in there that y'all should have told me about. I had my magnetic bowl setting on the furnace when I lit it there a while ago, so it kind of melted the rubber base off my magnetic bowl. But we'll let all that stuff burn out there and get all the stink out of it. Let it go through its cool down cycle, and we'll light it another time or two. I usually like to at least light them 3 times, and I figure if they light 3 times, they got to be good. So that's figuring out why, you know, it wasn't getting any gas. I wasn't smelling any gas. It wasn't trying to ignite, and that's what it took to fix it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you'll get something out of it. And hey, I hate to mention this, but there's so many people that comment that, but man, you helped me so much in this video, and you know, you saved me hundreds of dollars and all that. Well, why don't you, you know, if you find any value to my videos, go to my Patreon tab or the PayPal tab and show me a little love there. It takes a lot of time and effort and a lot of money to make these YouTube videos. So if you would be able to help out, that'd be awesome. If you can't, that's awesome too. I'm gonna go up the road and fix another one, and y'all have a fantastic day.